Honesty will offend only those who do not fully seek truth.
Didn't even get to cross.
Hey guys, ZaiZoe here. Welcome to my channel. Thanks for checking in, and we are going to talk about that. Now, I've been sick the last few days. Actually, not the last few days. Last few days I've just been busy. But before that, on my last video, I ended up being really sick, like hanging my head out the door, kind of sick to get fresh air while still trying to be warm enough. However, that is a great idea what they are about to do. I am a little bit negative towards it, and I apologize to anybody if I seem negative towards it, but this is like 5 years way too late. Supercell clearly not watching. I mean, they do watch videos, so I'm just mocking them when I say clearly not watching people's videos and stuff. I have no idea why over 5 years Supercell would not have fixed the drop troop situation. Many people have written in, many people have made videos about it. It's been a huge issue inside the game. I know that Boom Beach and I know Clash Royale do not have this problem because they have the default of no troops selected. It does not seem hard to me, as somebody that has no idea about computer programming, how difficult it would have been to have just made that default that no troop was selected. And that would have saved tons and tons. I've come up with videos with other little ideas, you know, a safety screen or even just a safety feature where if you touched anywhere on the map, it would say, "Are you sure you wish to deploy the troop?" Boom. That would have solved the situation right there. I've been making videos and talking about this for years and years. Like I said, I know this is something that's been in forums. I know it's been something that's been brought up. So I really don't know why it's taken, the entire game to get to this stage. Myself, with pushing for, over 4 years, so we'll just say 5 years, that between 4 and 5 years of wanting something like this, something that's actually needed and would have been very useful for a lot of people. Many of us have learned eventually how to not drop a troop, although it still does happen once in a while. Some of us put so much commitment into this game, you have no idea to the extent of how much a phone is in our hand, how much we're multitasking with a phone in our hand, constantly risking that chance of dropping a troop. But you do have to live life sometimes. You have to continue on with things that you're doing, and to have that constant worry about dropping a troop, falling asleep while clouding because you're just trying to put in so much time and so much effort. You're even that tired, but you're that committed that you're just going to lay there with your hand over the screen just trying to tap next as bases pops up, which is actually the worst thing to do. The best thing you can do, I've learned, is set the phone slightly ahead of your hand and always reach up to push it with your finger and bring your finger back off of the phone screen. Doing that hover over top where you think you're semi-awake, even sitting in a chair. I've fallen asleep sitting up at the kitchen table trying to push next. And the same thing, you're just there, you're hovering your finger over, and you don't even notice that you're drifting off asleep, and slowly your hand's falling down. You haven't noticed, next thing you know, you've dropped a troop. So it is a great thing for them to do, but years too late in my opinion. However, there are some other things. The one thing I think Supercell really should do, and I will admit to this, half of this I've been wrong. I do not like 1-gem boosts anymore. I know, shock factor, everybody's going to hate me now. But I really don't like 1-gem boosts. 1-gem boosts are a pain in the butt. With the way things are now, I think it's pretty fair of a cost to have things on boost, especially with clan games and with the little, I don't know what the guy is that sells stuff. With that there, if you're smart, using that to buy the 25 gems to get that boost, then with those other boosts, you're pretty much covered most of the time. For the most part, it's debatable, but I don't think it's that bad. As soon as you start putting 1-gem boosts on, it just makes clouds terrible. But what I did like that Supercell did, one of the best things I think they ever did, and I wish they would just keep it like this full time, is the way donations work. If you look at donations right now, they're definitely not fair. Why is it cost so much to give somebody an instant troop now? I can go into my camps with empty camps and I can gem a golem for a lot cheaper than I can send somebody for one now. Those should at least be the same cost. But I like when Supercell went one step further and they made the donations, whether it was spells, whether it was troops, it was one gem. That was great. That really was the greatest thing ever. I think maybe it could affect Clouds a little bit, but it's definitely not going to affect Clouds the same as when clan games kick in, or it's not going to affect Clouds the same as a holiday, or the one gem army boosts. It doesn't affect it that much, because then everybody's out there just mass going. With this way, people are just getting, whether it's war attacks or they're farming down low, wherever they are, whatever they're doing, just, it's convenient. And that, I think, is one of the things they should do. Fix that donations now. Make it either at least the even cost of what it would be if my camps was empty to gem one. Just check it out for yourself. Put any troop in your camp where you still have room so that you can gem that one troop. And see the cost of what it is to gem it, to put it into your camps, versus the cost of what it is to gem it now under the donations. Big differences. Big differences. So that's just what I think about that, but I really do think it is a great idea what they're doing. It is about time. Like I said, I'm a little bit negative towards it, but that's just because it's something that I think we've needed for so long, and something very clearly needed to be done about it. It's just been sitting there on the shelf, being neglected. You know, there's been tons of other stuff implemented into the game. Really, a lot of it hasn't been useful. Village Guard, not useful, because it's not fair. It depends where you are. Plus, you're paying for your time to play. They need to go back to just the straight 6-hour time limit. Searching on shields didn't really help much neither, so don't like that one either. But it is about time. It is about time. So at least now people that are playing and just getting into the game and whatnot, although the game does seem to be slowing down, I'm not quite sure near its death yet. They're still probably making tons of money. I mean, I'm not checking into their stats, but I'm assuming they're still making a good amount of money off the game. Plus, like you say, you know, as some of the old go out, new come in, some of them get motivated and inspired by the other people that they see, then they get the same drive that we all once had. Unfortunately, I love this game, and I owe a lot to this game, not as far as real gains, but just in the social aspect and bettering myself and a few other things. I mean, Clash of Clans definitely has been a fun experience. At the same time, it's also been a nightmare, but I still do love the game, so give it its credit. It was a good and fun game. I just don't have the extreme level of commitment I used to have. I am logging on every day with 3 accounts. But remember, at one point in time, I was logging on every day with like 8 to 9 accounts and doing all war attacks on every base, pushing with 3 accounts, fully donating thousands of troops, just continuously heavily active. And although I'm not as active, and I still do log on every day, and I try to get an attack or 2 in, or at least talk and chat more now on my base and come on to donate and stuff like that. So I am there. I do peek in. I am trying to attack. I definitely do not want my ZaiZoe 2 base dropping below champs right now, and I came way too close. Actually, the lowest I've ever been in 49 months was sitting at 4101 after a defense, or 4101, 3101 after a defense. That is the lowest I've been in 49 months, but still holding that champs badge, quickly gaining back some cups. I gained back 100 and some yesterday, so just over the 3200 today. I needed to make sure that when the season reset came, I was still over champs, so that when I get a new badge, it's not going to be a master's badge. Although I don't like making up records, and I kind of poke fun of people that make up records, there is one that I'm still holding on to, and that is that I am the longest holding Town Hall 7 over a champs badge. Obviously, I've held a lot higher than that for a lot longer periods, being up in Titans for a year plus more, whatever it was. So yes, at the moment, still holding that champs badge and not quite willing to let it die yet. So you won't see my bases with no badges, that's for sure, but maybe not as active as I used to once be, when I had a high love for the game and an extreme level of addiction, I guess you could say. But so that's it for this video. Just putting that out there. You know, it's a good thing that Supercell's doing. I'm a little bit snarly towards it just because I've dropped so many troops and watched so many people in pain over the years for the same thing. But that's it for now. See you guys after. I'm out of here. Peace.